So let's paint us a hummingbird and morning glories. I'm going to start on the hummingbird, and this is a little female, and I'm loading my brush with Dove Gray, and I'm using a number 6 flat Dewberry Pro. You can use any flat brush to the size that you prefer. I usually use a larger brush, but today I'm going to work with this smaller one. I'm just filling in the body with the Dove Gray. Then I'll come back and add the other colors. Now I have some shimmery colors on my palette too, because I like the way hummingbirds shimmer in the sun. And so there's her basic body. Now the wing is darker, so I can come in with some, this is medium gray. These are FolkArt Multi-Surface, Plaid FolkArt Multi-Surface paints. And I'm just going to fill in the color. I'm going to come in with chisel strokes to create the wing look after I have filled in. This is a front wing. You can't see her back. The other side, it's not back wing, but the wings behind. So you can just see the one wing. And now I'm going to just side load on the corner of my brush some of the gray, and I'm going to just kind of work it in along the top of her head. And it's still wet, so it's just kind of blending in, but it gives, you see how it gives kind of a feathery look when you're just working that in. And her whole head is a little bit darker. And this kind of has just some little chisel on it. Now we may end up going over that a bit so it's more opaque. But here is, this is kind of a glittery silver. What is this called? It is called Sequin Silver. I just want to test it out. I've never really tested it. It has a little bit more blue in it, it looks like, than the Dove Gray. And it has some little sparkly things in it. So I'm just going to leave that be for the moment. And I think I will go into the morning glories. So let's decide on the colors for those. Okay, here's Look at Me Blue. We'll start with Look at Me Blue and maybe a light blue. I want that undercoat of my Hummer to dry so that I can go over it again. So for now I'm just going to kind of fill in this under part of this morning glory. You see it's kind of facing away from us, and the bird is taking a nip from this morning glory. And that's going to be a lighter blue up there, so it looks like it's coming back. I'm trying to see where my So I got that portion done. I can kind of smooth these spots out, but it doesn't matter. Kind of the ridges going down kind of emulate how the flower goes. So this is an undercoat. You see how it's not completely opaque on the white surface? So I'm going to do the same over on this one, just kind of fill in around the outline. This one is more forward facing. again, we'll let that dry. And I'm going to put, let me see, this is medium blue. It's not exactly the color I wanted, but we'll work with it. It will work. So down here is a small bud. And a bud usually has kind of a twirl to it. Kind of over blended that. So I will fix it once it is complete. So now we'll go in and we'll do the leaves. No, I could do the outline of that one. And the outer edge is going to be this lighter blue. So it looks like a turned back petal. I'm not going to be overly careful with it because I still have to do the next coat on that portion. And then this portion back here, where it comes back into the, and this kind of has some of the blue coming from the center, the lighter. I might even add some white there. This is pearl white that I'm adding on my brush just to give it some shimmer. We're all good with that. So all the blues and the bird are drying. I'm going to come in with Thicket green, and then this, the lighter green is called Wedgewood by Ceramcoat. Just for a variety from my normal colors. Now I will probably have to go over this again to make it really opaque. I'm being careful not to get too much over in my Morning Glory. So right there I have it. Morning Glory leaves are kind of heart-shaped. Let me see if I can get this. Make a little vine there, vine coming from that one. And let's see, let's get this leaf on here. I'm not too precious with it because I know this is the undercoat. And there's a little tiny one here. I'll just give him a little. Okay, there's the bases of our leaves. And we'll put these calyxes on after we're done with the blue. Now let me see if those blues are dry enough, or maybe the bird. Let me test it. Yeah, looks like it's dry enough. So now I am going to, I think I'll do another coat of the gray on there, the dark gray. I really prefer my larger brushes. I put the other one aside. Now this is a front wing, so it comes down into the body somewhat. Now we don't have to be perfect. No perfection. I'll do the dove gray again, some more of the body. I still have some of the dark gray on my brush, and that's okay. Get some of that pearlized white. This little gal is going to shine. And I'm going to try a fun color, because right around the base of her wing is just a shimmer of green. But all I have in this color shift paint, well, I probably have some other colors, but I just didn't find them. This one is, what color? Metallic Aqua Flash. So we're going to give her a bit of flash. Now with these color shift paints, they kind of change colors from the direction you're looking at. So if I look at it from another direction, it will change. Now I'm going along the back. I mixed some gray in that. Just got a little darker line along the bottom where her feet come in. And I'll get a smaller brush to do her little feet. And when I do her beak, and her head is a little bit darker. So let's along there, right down to her neck. I'm going to come in with this shimmery gray, and I'm just going to do some chisel strokes for her body. Now I need a little bit of a darker color, so I'm going to put some black on my palette. And I just dumped that one. Oh, here's charcoal black. And I'm going to mix it with the dark gray. I don't want stark black, but I do want to darken up the gray and give her some chisel edge strokes right along here, so it looks like her wing. And then there's kind of a line that runs right along the back. A little bit lighter. Now, I need to find a very fine chisel edge brush or a liner, and I'll work on her beak and eye. Okay, I've got the black, I think it's charcoal black, and my liner, and I'm gonna just bring it up where it dives into that. And I think I got that a little too wide, so we'll come back with some, I guess I could come back with some white later and go over it. Kind of leads from her head in. Trying to gauge where her eye is in relation to her beak. And she's got this very white dot right behind her eye. I may have to get an even whiter white to get that to spark. Still too wet. I can't really get that to go down. So I'll wait. Let's do her little feeties. They're curled up under her. So let me make sure I get this fine enough. And they're curled right up under her belly here. It's kind of a dark little chunk there. So we'll let that dry and we'll see what she needs. Let's put our second coat of the Look at Me blue on that Morning Glory, and I'm working with my number 10 flat, and I'm just going to finish off that one. You can see how much more opaque that second coat is, which is wonderful. And now we'll go the second coat on this one. On the layers, we need to also come back in and do those leaves. Okay, I'm going to do the lighter blue. On this one, the lighter blue is kind of radiating outward from the center. And we'll do that. We'll let that dry a bit. And well, let's see about these little kind of stripes they have. And that went off into the leaf. Okay, we'll let that dry, and I will come along with this one and just, oops, got the dark blue in there. It's not a big deal, just reload, follow the outline. Doesn't have to be perfect. Dive it into the bottom of that one. Pull that around. Let's go back into the greens. I'm sticking with my number 10 flat brush here. And I'll just recoat, restate that leaf. Not perfect, just stroking it in there. The leaves are just the accent. They are not the star of the show. There we go. Same with this one. I'll pull that vein out. And this one's just a teeny guy. And I need to redo that bud there. I missed that when I was doing the blue. I'm running out of the Look at Me blue on my palette here. Let me see if I got enough to do that. Nope. I have to get me a tiny bit more on my palette. Just a little too light. Just not laying down an opaque coat there, but I don't want to overwork it. I can get carried away. And I'm putting a tiny bit of that pearl white on the tip of my brush. I just want to kind of flick some of it out from the center here to brighten that up. Okay, I think we can do the stamens for the Morning Glories, which I'm double loading with the Wedgewood and the Thicket. And I'm just going to do tiny little strokes a little round area there. The same on this one. Little stroke leaves type, and they make that stamen and then fill in this circle, and I got that a little wide, but it will work. Got a little carried away. And there we have our morning glories. Now Miss Birdie just isn't cutting it for me, and I don't know if all these colors are they're just too transparent. So let's give her some more of this. Let's give her some real iridescence. And then we'll come in with the silver mixed with a little bit of black for her head. But come along here just ever so slightly. I'm getting some black in my brush. Don't want to get my fingers in the wet paint. Give this some real depth of color. Blend it in there. And come along with that silver. Just kind of work it in there. She's not my favorite. I'll rework her later, but right now I'm going to take some of the lighter blue, mix it with the Look at Me blue. I want kind of a color in between. I'm going to do these little like streaks, so it kind of gives the underneath of the flower. And this, just some little curves on those petals where they come out. And then there's a little dot. Let me see if this color will do it. I might have to go for a lighter white. Nope, that one will work. And I think that one was linen, or let's see, what other, dove, that's what it was. It was the dove. So I think the Morning Glories came out, even though the Hummer didn't. I'm going to have to go back and just paint over her with something very opaque and start on her again.